Let's go behind the mask.
Welcome back to another edition of the Behind the Mask podcast. We got another special guest, NFL Hall of Fame, NFL Ring of Honor for the Washington Redskins, Mr. All Everything, but better known as Mr. Iron Man, London Fletcher, has entered the building.
Hey, man, I couldn't wait to get on Behind the Mask. I saw you, y'all had Champ on here.
Yeah.
Had Roddy. I even texted you. I said, man, when I'm going to get on there?
Yeah.
So I had to make a special trip to get down here and get on this podcast.
For sure. We glad to have you down here,
Yeah.
man. How's everything been going, man?
Oh, man, it's been great, man. You know, just living the dream every day.
Another day in paradise?
Yeah, another day in paradise. We'll get to what I've been doing.
Listen, we gonna give a disclaimer right now.
All in cahoots with each other.
Yeah.
We're going to give our disclaimer.
Yeah.
There's only one rule on Behind the Mask.
What's that?
The only rule is there are no rules. So
I like
we go
that.
in there.
Yeah, we're going to go in deep.
But yeah, man, let's what you been up to lately over the previous 2 weeks? I know you've been doing a lot of traveling. A lot of it had to do with, we talked about the Hall of Fame nominee, the Ring of Honor, you being honored in D.C. Give us a little light on that, man, for the listeners out there.
Yeah, man. I went into the Redskins Ring of Fame last Monday night. Had a great ceremony. Took my family up there, a bunch of friends, family and friends up there in D.C. I can remember going into the stadium. I'm sure y'all probably feel the same way. You go into different stadiums, and you look up in the stadium, you see different guys who played in these different places.
Yes.
Names up on
Absolutely.
the stadium. So when we were in Buffalo, I used to look up there. You see Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, all those dudes. Then I go to D.C. You got Doug Williams, Joe Theismann, Darryl Green, Art Monk, all the John Riggins, and I'm in there playing. I'm like, man, dang, one day I want to have my name up there.
Yeah.
So Mr. Snyder called me. He's like, hey, London, I was on the golf course, as a matter of fact, when he when he called me, and he's like, yeah, London, we're going to put you into the Redskins Ring of Fame. I was like, wow. So did that last Monday, and then I'm also going into the College Football Hall of Fame this year. So went from D.C. to Cleveland, back to my old college, and we had the college football Hall of Fame presentation there on Saturday. So I've been busy. Went to New York, then down here to Atlanta, man. I've been all over the place.
Man, congratulations on all the accolades, man. That's amazing. Did you, we're going to go back a little bit. As a kid growing up, first of all, your first love was basketball. I recall that.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you even think
Man,
that...
this cat can't play no
You know what?
Boy,
And the funny thing, man, when I met London, I think it was 06, we were on the Bills, and you told me, man, he was like, yeah, I used to be nice in basketball and da-da-da-da. And, I'm from New York, obviously. I'm talking my junk. I'm like, man, you can't play no ball. He's like, nah, I'm serious. I was nice in ball. First thing that came to my mind is, rest in peace, Anthony Mason. I'm like, man, this man can't jump. He can't do that. But talk about
Anthony Mason, you thought I was stiff coming down there real stiff.
but talk about him. You were legit nice in ball, though.
Yeah, man. I had a nice hoop game. I went to college on a hoop scholarship.
Yeah.
He's been victimized many times, Bobby, on the hoop.
Listen, bro.
Spice can't play no ball, though. Man. Spice can't play no ball.
Bruh, I can ball, bro.
This man shoot like Bill Cartwright.
You a lie.
You're a rebounder. You're a defensive player and a rebounder.
At least I'm consistent. I don't try to listen. He trying to act like he was a great offensive player. He had handles. I give him that, but
Hey, we used to have some good games up in Buffalo too, man. We used to have some real good games up there, man.
I think that's the reason why. I know that's the reason why. When you look at teams across the league, and certain teams, you'll see they are just tighter with each other. Mm-hmm. And I think because it was not anything to do in Buffalo, it forced us to be together, and we really felt like a brotherhood, a family.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, we definitely had a close-knit group. We did a lot of stuff together, man. A lot of stuff together. And that's why we were able to, have some success. We didn't get to the playoffs, but you can just see that camaraderie on the field. And you look at some of the teams now, you see some of the games play, you can just tell there's no togetherness in the games, no togetherness on the team. I'm sure they're not spending a ton of time off the field together. You know, you go in, get your work done, then everybody go their separate ways, man. In Buffalo, we were forced to be together.
There wasn't no separate way to go.
No, not at all.
Hey, it forced you to be like so much diversity, especially when you travel to the great city of Toronto.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My goodness.
I love it.
Listen, that was one of the best things about Buffalo.
It's an Alfred Toronto.
Was the proximity to Toronto.
Listen, hour and a half, 2 hours, 2 hours just for traffic.
His smile says it all.
Went up there and got baptized.
His smile says it all.
I miss y'all.
Spikes them, man. We done went up there a few times. Spikes is like, we done hung out. He's like, man, I got to get back to treatment. I'm like, treatment? You going to a whole nother country. You got to go back at 8:30 in the morning for treatment? I said, man, look, we drove up here. You going to have to leave this car because I ain't taking no limo back. So I was like, take the car, I'll make it back. He made it back for treatment. But let's talk about some of the, the league as it is now, man. I know you do some broadcasting as well. What are your thoughts on the NFL today and some of the teams that surprised you, particularly from this last weekend, and some teams that you think that are doing better than you initially thought week one, and some teams that haven't lived up to the hype as of yet? Yeah,
man, it was a lot of surprises this weekend, and you and I were talking about it, like, man, if you were a better, you gambling on these NFL games, you took a scraping this week, man.
Took out behind the shed.
Yeah. I mean, you gonna always have the Patriots. They're still a dominant team. The Chiefs, a couple of the usual suspects are still playing well. I was surprised with the Browns being able to go into Baltimore and put up 40 on Baltimore, man. Because the Browns, they hadn't looked like the team that got all that hype in the preseason.
On paper.
They were struggling, Then they went in there and they put it all together. They finally gave the ball to Nick Chubb, let him do his thing. The surprising team, man, is the San Francisco 49ers. They didn't play this week. Undefeated team. The Lions are playing pretty good. They took the Chiefs to the
That's what I wanted to ask you. Who did you think when you look at the Broncos, not necessarily Broncos, I'm sorry, but who surprised you more? The 49ers being undefeated, or when you look at damn, you making me forget what I'm like. No, the 49ers who are 3-0.
Right.
And then you also take a look at the Broncos who are 0-4.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who would have ever thought, though, the Broncos would have been 0-4 within the first 3 games?
Yeah.
Von Miller and Bradley Chubb combined for only 3 sacks, and they led the league last year in total sacks.
And Chubb went out too, so he's
Chubb
done
went
for
out.
the season.
He's done for the season with the
man.
ACL.
Yeah.
Man, I would say they're both very surprising. I think Vic Fangio's a good coach. He finally got a chance to be a head coach. I would say them being 0-4, that's probably the bigger surprise. And then y'all mentioned Chubb and Von Miller. They just got their first sacks last week.
Yeah.
That was like, man, these two dudes,
wreck shop.
man, they wreck shot. They get 3 sacks a game a piece. So, that was surprising. But the 49ers, they're playing good ball. They got a Monday night game coming up against the Browns in San Francisco. We're gonna see how that one goes.
You talking about the teams that are surprising? The team that you went into the ring of honor, the Redskins. They not getting it right, and I
you got to go there, huh?
I gotta go there, man. I'd be remiss to say, this is your night. You immortalized in Redskin lore in the Ring of Honor.
Yep.
But they can't get right on the football field. And they can't get right. They spelled your name wrong on the Jumbotron for the Ring of Honor ceremony. How'd you feel, man? Were you pissed off, bro?
No. Actually, the crazy thing is, I didn't even notice that my name was spelled incorrectly because, we on the field and I see the my image up there. They got the my name. So I kind of just glanced. I wasn't really looking at it.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, you checking social media, like, man, they spelled your name wrong and all that. But I just chalked it up, man. Hey, man, somebody made a mistake. It's spelled correctly in the stadium on the.
There you go.
Yeah, so I didn't trip too much, and then I got the backstory behind it too. It was a young lady who made the mistake. She's a young girl. She was very distraught about it.
Yeah.
She should have been. She should be. Like, for real, that's a big deal.
Yeah. But imagine this.
And I'm more sensitive to it.
Because the interaction, because the friendship,
Yeah.
But think about this, though. Imagine all our mistakes being out there on national television.
Chill.
You say ain't no rules here. You said
He trying to take it back.
yeah. But could you imagine some of the things, like, man, the mistakes that we've made being exposed, not to a certain, we just keeping it, surface level.
Yeah.
But hers was exposed and it was national, man. I'm like, man, I'm watching not top 10 and I was number one for the month of September.
That's just like getting fired on your day.
Yeah, man. Terrible.
I was watching that. I said, man, number one, not top 10 for the month of September. Oh, man. But you know what? Hey, it happened. I wasn't tripping.
Hey, I want to ask you this question because you go back and you look at the Oakland Raiders, Gruden. He's trying to switch that mentality of the team, went out, signed Vontaze Burfict from the Cincinnati Bengals to be his Mike linebacker of the Raiders. Yesterday, he was ejected from the game, from doing what he do. His reputation precedes him before you get a one shot on him. If you even see Burfict name in the picture, people already know what to think. Late hit, dirty player, etc. So my question to you is, when we look at this and we play this game at such a fast rate, and it's a game of reflexes. And so when you look at the hit, he attempted to put on that wide receiver coming across the middle. The league felt like it was very egregious, and they kicked him out for the game. Reports now have surfaced that he is suspended for the rest of the year. Do you think he deserves that tough of suspension?
Yeah, I do. You mentioned his reputation preceding him. Man, you look at this dude's rap sheet, man, he should be serving life in prison, man. Like, if he was a criminal and you looked at his
all
rap,
all
the crimes that he has, man, he got 2 pages worth of crimes, man. Man, that's all of the fines, the hits, the penalties, all the stuff that he has done. Man, they definitely should. This dude should be banned from the NFL, man.
But both
and this coming from a guy who early in my career, I've taken my own dirty shots on players.
Oh, I know.
Very dirty.
We're going to talk about that in a minute. Go ahead.
But yeah, they had no choice but to do that.
But both of you guys played linebacker, right? And as far as I got playing linebacker was in like high school on a scout team. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a defensive dude at all. But in the moment, when bullets are flying, guys are crossing your face, and your peripheral is focused on what it needs to be focused on. If you see somebody come in that zone, your instinct is, lay them out. So how do you refrain from that and play within the framework of the game and in the rules? And how do you fault a Vontaze Burfict that seems like he's just instinctually going after players and playing that aggressive style of football that we accustomed to growing up?
Man, you just got to understand that the league they're not going to continue to allow to do the things that he's doing. Like, you have to adjust. When we came into the league as linebackers, we used to send message shots. Perfect example. When I was in St. Louis, we're playing the San Francisco 49ers. T.O. used to play for them. T.O. come across that middle, I'm sending him a message shot. Like, I'm knocking his head off.
Right.
Like, you not coming in this middle. Cornerback know him. I ain't got to worry about shallow cross because Fletcher gonna knock his damn head off.
Yeah.
So he stayed out that middle. But as the league progressed and evolved to, you can't have those type of hits anymore. You had to adapt, and I had to adapt, and he has to adapt. Like, he continues to hit dudes in their head, with forearms, helmet to helmet. Everybody else has adapted and adjusted for the most part. He still continues to try to do those message shots, and you just can't do that anymore.
So you didn't do message shots in practice? That's what you're telling me?
That's practice. We talking about practice? We talking about practice?
Every time I see Flip.
We talking about practice.
So we in training camp, right? We go out, I get
Tell
to the
it
Bills.
to-
Man, listen.
Give me your 2 cents.
Here's my 2 cents, man. All that stuff, London, you was just talking. I ain't buying into it. I ain't buying. So we in practice and every time as an old lineman, I go up against London in 9-on-7 or a team or whatever. I get up, we fit him in London. Good, that's good. That's good. So, once we make contact, we throttle down because, you in training camp as a veteran, your goal is to make it to week 1. You ain't trying to run through the wall as a rookie. You want to be healthy. So, we fitting up. All right, that's good. All training camp, 3.5 weeks. The last practice of training camp, we have shorts and helmets on. The last freaking play. I run down, this is a backside play of a zone going to the left. I'm running down, trotting down. I know London is going to throttle down. So I just sit there, look at him. It's Fletch 5'9". I just chill. Reyes decleats me. I go flying. I fall down. I look up. And London is laughing, running to the end zone. But he's running to the end zone not to chase the play because practice was over and we had to get on the line of scrimmage to run. So that was the last practice. I can't do nothing. I can't hit him back. I can't do nothing but talk about it. And everybody's laughing. And Fletch was like, what'd I do?
Hey, I remember that play.
I should hit you now.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know what made me do it.
I ain't even do nothing to you, man.
Maybe one of your teammates did something.
He was moody, man.
Man, what?
He would get mad over anything.
That Anthony Mason.
Always looking for a fight. Hey, you remember Ross Tucker, the center?
Yeah.
How we used to plot on him?
Yep.
Oh man.
We used to plot on Ross Tucker.
Was Tuck there when you were?
I knew who he was, but he wasn't there when I was.
Tuck was a prick, man.
Oh man, he was dirty.
I'm gonna send this to him too. So
he used to do dirty stuff, man. Boy, he cheap shotted Posey.
Yep.
In practice. Boy, it was like a beehive on the rest of the practice, man.
Who did it?
Oh man.
We got him, Pope. Don't even worry about it.
Oh, for the rest of the practice, man. He got 3-4 linebackers hitting him in his head every play. It could be a pass 100 yards down, 50 yards down. We beeline for Tuck, man.
That's what's up, man.
No, but that's how we used to get into it. But to finish up, to put that bow on Vontaze Burfict, do you think his suspension was worthy enough of a year?
Man, I'd say they should ban this dude, man. This dude, Key, this coming from me. You and I, we played linebacker.
Yeah.
We played a physical style of linebacker. But you cannot continue to do what this guy is doing. He's already been suspended multiple times before. 3 games here, 2 games here, 1 game. Fine, a ton of money. The message has not gotten through to him. So they're like, all right, as you know, more and more, each time you continue to get in trouble, the penalties escalate.
Right.
It's escalated to 12 games. The next time he does something, you're talking about banning this guy. The crime justifies the punishment.
Yeah, I felt like it was pretty raw. Like I'm trying to hurt you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're at a point now, like, listen, man, I actually like to play that way. Like I was, if I really didn't like you and it turned into a personal level, like I'm gonna punish you.
Who didn't you like that you tried to lay out though?
I didn't like body mannerisms. Like
he
tough. Like I gotta humble you.
You talking about that fullback from Houston?
Yep. Listen, Moran Norris. I was like, who this 44 running around here like he is a bull in a china shop?
He wound up being your teammate later on, right?
Hey, listen, and still one of my closest friends to this day. But I hated his ass. I hated him.
Dude, we're in the game, man. So we're playing Houston, and it was probably first, second, third play of the game. And Kid him scrapping on the sideline. I don't know. Did we hype you up during the week?
They hyped me up. They was like, 44 got they closed the door. Oh, they were just like, it was just like child punishment. Like they were just every day in between meetings. Hey, you check, see what 44 was eating? 44 hit my boy last night. He say, man, he gonna bring it.
Hey, Key didn't like his body mannerism. Like he'd blow somebody up and be standing over the. So he done went into the game already on one. Yeah. Just like, man, I can't wait to get this guy.
I told him, I said, I'd rather go into a game and pissed on versus pissed off.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Huh?
But Key, you wanted to play physical, but you weren't gonna play dirty, though.
Yeah,
like you can still be physical.
Yeah,
and not be dirty.
Yeah, that's and that was the bottom line.
He's physical and dirty.
Yeah, he's physical and dirty consistently though.
Absolutely,
and that's a problem. Like that's a problem for all the players as far as health and safety.
Fletch, man, we're going to go behind the mask and take it back a little bit. Story career in the NFL Iron Man. I mean, the stats speak for themselves. 2-time All-Pro, 4-time Pro Bowler, 11-time alternate. And the reason I bring that part up is that as an offensive player for the Pro Bowl, we get to vote on the defensive players, right?
Yeah.
So we as offensive players respect the guys that go out there, get it done, leading your team in tackles several times. So being an alternate 11 times, did that ever give you like a chip on your shoulder? Did you feel a certain way not being respected or not being awarded for the things that you know that you put out on the field those previous 17 weeks of a season?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. It was beyond a chip. You know, the first time it happened, I'm like, all right, you know.
You are from Cleveland, though. You from Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
That's what J. Cole said in the song, right? Got a chip on his shoulder because he was a Browns fan.
Man, yeah. But so the first time it happened, my second year in the league, first year started with the Rams. All right, I'm an alternate. They're like, all right, you got to wait your turn, you know, your first year. And it happens again. I'm like, damn. It happens again. And again and again and again. And I'm seeing the guys they're going ahead of me. I'm like, man, you got to be kidding me, man. This dude is. One time, a guy got he went ahead of me. He missed like 8 games, half the season. Another guy missed like 6 games. The kicker, we playing the Seattle Seahawks in the playoffs. Lofa Tatupa. He made it over me. After the game, he's like, man, London, you deserve to go to the Pro Bowl over me, man. I'm like, no shit. Like, man, I'm glad you.
Say it. You can say it.
I'm glad you realized it because I thought so too, man. But yeah, that hurt, man. It hurt.
The Pro Bowl, and you know, you guys both made it. I never made it unless I went down there to check y'all out. But it was a popularity contest. You know what I'm saying? So it gets, because the players get a vote, I think the coaches get a vote, and then the fans got a vote, right?
Yeah,
so a lot of times, if you were in either a city that was a mainstream market, or if the fans didn't really recognize you,
right,
then you know it didn't matter what you did on the field. So
yeah. Still, I was pissed off, man. Man. Oh man.
Because it was. I had an opportunity to see it from a different perspective. Now, when I came into the league, 98, same year you came in, drafted with Cincinnati, undrafted to the Rams.
Yeah.
So we both saw the trends, like the same guys all the time that would go all the time. And then the more and more that they started to win, another good story. You know what I'm about to tell you. The third year, they actually won the Super Bowl in what, 2000? No, 99.
99, yeah. That was our second year in the league. Yeah, both
so
of us.
In 99, we're playing the St. Louis Rams at the time versus the Cincinnati Bengals it was in 99. It said whoever lose this game will be the worst team of the decade.
Losing this team of the decade.
So I'm so optimistic, right? I'm like, oh, ain't no way in hell we finna lose to them damn Rams.
In Cincinnati. And guess what? They started out with, who was the quarterback? Kurt Warner was the quarterback.
No, he came in, had that third game of the year.
No. Trent got hurt in preseason.
Yeah, but that's
Kurt was still coming into his own.
You're right. But from our perspective, we looking at, man, Trent Dilfer is out. Not Trent Dilfer.
Trent Green.
Trent Green. He's out. Ain't no way in hell we finna let, because we did the scouting report. Kurt Warner in the grocery store stocking shelves, and I specifically remember saying this. It ain't no way in hell Kurt Warner finna come in here after throwing a can of Campbell's soup on the shelf. He ain't finna throw no football against us. We played that game. And my feelings were so hurt.
Did he sling it?
What? What? Did he sling it?
Man, he had over 400 yards of offense.
But what about when Oz Akeem caught he caught a touchdown pass on one of y'all DBs?
I think Artrell Hawkins, and he mushed him.
Man, he took his hand caught the football, mushed him, and backpedaled into the end zone. You talk about disrespectful.
Damn.
I came back to the sideline like, you gonna take that? Like, I don't even, can I even jump up and say, man, it was bad, man. But we got sidetracked a little bit, but that's good.
Yeah.
We look at that, and I saw all of that, man, throughout the struggles. Won a Super Bowl that year. You even get to year 5, and you still an alternate. And then when you get to Buffalo, the same problem continue to go on. I eventually came up to Buffalo with you. But I guess what I'm asking is, like, for that to fuel you in such a way, because a lot of guys would have looked at it like, man, this situation would never change. You didn't end up making your first Pro Bowl until your 10th year?
Yeah, 10th or 11th. It was late.
10th or 11th year. And that's unheard of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You continue to go from that point on. What do you think was the tipping point?
As far as making it, or
as far as making it, people slowing down to say, you know what? London Fletcher really got it. Like, he has a point.
Part of what Toot said earlier is being in a certain market. So St. Louis, when we were playing in St. Louis, we were winning, but the headlines were all about our offense. Even though we had some dominant defenses, the headlines were offense related. Get to Buffalo, we don't have any national games, or not many. Still, not getting a whole lot of recognition. Then when I got to DC, we got multiple national games. The market, the major TV market. So more people are recognizing what I'm doing now, because we're getting more attention. Mm-hmm. So that was really the difference, where, playing in that bigger market, it's just different.
You talked about the strong defenses that y'all had, but you were on the team with the greatest show on turf. That's what they called it, right? Were you spoiled coming into the league and getting to the Super Bowl your second year? And then how was it playing against all those Hall of Fame guys on the offensive side of the ball? I'm talking Kurt Warner, Orlando Pace, Marshall Faulk. It goes on and on and on. How did you feel week in and week out going against these guys? And did you ever get spoiled? Like, I made it year 2 in the league.
Oh yeah, man. Second year in the league, win a Super Bowl, went to the playoffs my third year. Then we went back to the Super Bowl my 4th year. We didn't win it. We lost that one. But, man, you started to get spoiled. We're putting up 35 points a game. Defense, we were giving up, 14 points. So you started to get a little, like, man, we gonna whoop on everybody. And I tell you what, watching that offense, man, there was some times where I would just sit back on the sidelines. Maybe it was a game against Cincinnati.
Hey, man.
Game against Cincinnati, or other games, and whether it was Marshall doing his thing, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, man. Each week, one guy could have had 3 or 4 touchdowns, whatever. And man, it was just, I felt bad for defenses. We came down here to Atlanta. Oh man, Don Blackman. I think was the.
He was the coach.
I think he was
the coach, right?
I think he may have been the coordinator.
Oh.
And Don didn't have the personnel to keep up with these. Oh, man, it was ugly. It was ugly. So then I get to Buffalo. So prior to that, I don't know what it is to go into a game stressed out. Like I don't know what stress is like.
Because you know your offense gonna give you at least 18 to 24.
I'm see, that just makes me damn so mad. Right? He said he walked in straight off the bus knowing like, regardless of whatever's gonna happen, our offense is gonna be up 14 points at least.
Man, Key, you remember some of them games? We got the number 2 ranked defense. We lose to Dallas like 10-6. We lose to Carolina like 12-10. I can remember being in the parking lot, man, in tears almost. Like,
I think I was on Carolina that year. I was on Carolina.
Like, man, we can't score any points, man. If we gave up 2 touchdowns, it was over. We were not going to win that game in Buffalo sometimes.
Yeah.
Because our offense just couldn't score any points. Yeah, that was tough, man. Though I did get spoiled.
But did you stay motivated, and how did you stop the younger guys from falling into that complacency as a leader?
We never got complacent because we worked hard. Like, you watch our practices, man. We worked hard. We got out there and we loved. And one of the things that happened, in training camp, you're constantly going against each other, all ones versus one. So defensive, we're looking like, man, we want to go out and stop this offense. We ain't about to let them, just run up and down the field on us. So we're going at them, challenge, a lot of trash talking going on. And once the season starts, you don't really practice too much against ones versus one. But we still took a lot of pride in what we're doing. We held ourselves to a standard, man, that wouldn't allow us to become complacent. You all right, man? You recovered over there?
He bobbing. He reminiscing on the times right now. I think you took him back.
No, you did though.
You took him back behind the mat. That's why he's gazing at you.
Like you really did take me back because I remember like even the game when we played y'all for the worst team of the decades in the 90s. And I just specifically took a step back to look and see. I was like, all right, maybe that was just a fluke, me being optimistic. Y'all didn't slow down, bro.
Nah.
So with that rock star status, winning games, winning that first Super Bowl, being in contention for the next 2 years, going back your 4th year, but y'all ended up losing. Like, how was it just going out in the community of St. Louis? Like, did they treat y'all like rock stars at that time? Nelly was hot too.
Nelly was just coming on the scene.
Nelly was hot.
He was just coming on the scene the year we won the Super Bowl, man. I'll give you a story. So, 99, we're coming off a season. In 98, we were 4-12. 99, we started to, that's the year we started getting hot. So, Mike Jones, a linebacker, he had started this little Sunday night. Sunday night, like little after game type of thing. He would throw a Sunday night set. And initially, the set was probably as big as these 2 rooms. Like not, maybe 800 square feet where he was throwing the set in. You might get 20, 25, 30 people in there at the beginning of the season. So each week, as we continued to win, it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So he had to change venues. So by the time the NFC Championship game, we beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And so Sunday night, we go to celebrate. Man, he had to move. He had this spot now that was probably about 4,000 people. And it's packed. You got people waiting to get into this party, man. That's how things just changed during that season as we won more and more. Once we won the Super Bowl, you weren't paying for a meal. You talk about being taken care of. So normally if you get 1-car deal, you sweet. Sweet. But I had 2-car deals.
My goodness. What you were doing with 2 cars?
Driving them. I was rotating. I had a BMW deal and a Chevy deal.
Damn, a Beamer deal?
Man, listen.
That's heavy right there.
Oh, every 3,000 miles, man, Fletch, come get you a new car.
So you pull up to the stadium.
Yeah. Smelling like new car when he comes to the stadium.
They valeting your car. Security escorting you into the stadium.
You ain't walk in with no shades though.
Oh yeah. Hey,
fly guy.
Hey. And I used to wear gaiters.
Oh my God.
You ain't used to wear them now and later gators though.
What? I'm from Cleveland. Oh, we had
lime green, purple.
green. I had some green and cream gaddies. You couldn't tell me nothing. And I had some green pants to go with it.
Oh, you looking all nasty and
Where
flaky.
is the picture of that one, baby?
Man, I hope burned. I had green. I had some ones I called the blueberry muffins. It was like a navy with a Carolina
Blueberry muffins.
Oh man, yeah. Listen, they was navy with a like a sky blue. Them boys was fire.
They was fire. They was fire.
He looked like fire.
Man, I ended up giving them to my uncle. He's still rocking those shoes, man. He's still rocking those shoes.
Dumpster fire.
Hey, so like, going back in that time, you know what I'm saying? We go behind the mask and like at that time you were single. Like, what was it like? Because people want to know, like, how is your social life? How are you able to do it? You see a lot of beautiful women, vice versa. Everybody coming at you.
Man, I was cute.
How did you stay?
Look, no, seriously, like
how were you able to stay focused?
I always knew how. I always been a focused player, but I tell you, from the beginning of the season, like when we were losing to when we started winning, and then after we won the Super Bowl, it was crazy, man. It was crazy.
Spikes and I talk about staying focused during those times, you know what I mean, when so much is thrown at you. And how were you still able to maintain that level of focus? Because you didn't have a drop-off in play from when y'all went to the Super Bowl, and like you said, everything was thrown at you. You just kept grinding, kept doing your thing. And I think it was like, what was it? 100 or more combined tackles 14 times in your career. How did you stay with that level of consistency, knowing that you started off so fast and everything was thrown your way?
I knew, I always had the mindset there was a time and a place for, everything. So during the week leading up to a game, hey, it's time for me to get myself together, my mind, get my rest, do what I need to do to be able to perform well. Now after the game, hey, we're gonna have a good time, all that type of stuff. Even in the off season, like there's a time and a place when you can have a good time, but also you still need to get your work in. Me and Takeo, that was our thing, man. We knew when to play, we knew when to have a good time, but then we knew how to prepare, we knew how to focus. And if we if it was a time where we may have maybe partied a little bit on a Friday night or whatever, we felt like, all right, man, if we gonna do this, we better show up and play well on Sunday. So that was just our mentality.
Yeah, you definitely got to be locked in. And that was one of the things that I thought what made us so good to play with each other, and then also lead a lot of guys, because it was the accountability that really brought along it. You've accomplished a lot, so much throughout your career, and now you're retired. You're into broadcasting, many other things. What are some of the things that you do now that really kind of drives your passion, that gets you going? What wakes you up every morning?
Yeah, first of all, my wife, my kids. I got 3 kids, 12, 11, and 9, girl, boy, girl. So they can wake me up, hey, getting them together, being a dad. I enjoy this part of life now, being retired, because I was so the game consumed me. When I was playing, I can be here. If I was still playing, we'd be here doing this interview, and I'm here physically, but mentally I'm thinking about what the next opponent, the next, what I have to do to train, what I have to do to prepare, whether it's on vacation. I'm still thinking about the game. Now I'm just enjoying being present.
Yeah.
And then I do the broadcasting. I do broadcasts for CBS Sports Network on Sunday mornings up in New York City. I do that. I'm passionate about that. And then I'm passionate about coming down here, crossing the state lines, whooping ass on the golf course.
Talk about that. He had to throw it out there. He threw it out. Wait. First of all, I don't ever get invited to these golf outings, but
he don't want anybody to see this. He don't want any witnesses.
There's a certain person on this panel right here, on this Behind the Mask podcast, that swears he's super nice in golf. What happened when you went out with said person?
Well,
Yes,
said
man.
person, I will say this. So
Is he
Takeo not
good, man?
He's decent. He's decent. He's decent.
Think he don't hit me with them decent though.
No, you got a nice game. You just can't beat me. But me and Takeo,
Fletch, your game used to be trash too. Now.
oh, my game was trash. We were
And my
trash
game ain't
together. Our game was trash
It was
together.
trash together.
When we first started, me and Spikes out there playing 6-hour rounds, shooting. I'm shooting 122. He's shooting 120.
And bragging about a win. And then we'll be like, you know what? We ain't gonna tell him what we
Really
just say who won.
So we literally, I can remember a couple years ago, we like literally made a concerted effort. Like, man, we're about to start shooting, 90s or below. Like, we got to get better at golf. So, we've improved, but he put up a good fight. He put up actually a better fight than I thought he would. But you just that 4 quarters of football, you just keep taking them body blows, and eventually, by the last round, the last quarter, he was tapping out, man. Like, I'm done.
No, that was
so golf. Does golf fuel that competitive edge now that you retired from the NFL?
And we didn't have a bet on the game or anything. We just compete just because we want bragging rights. So yeah, it definitely fuels that competitive.
And now you got bragging rights on them on the Behind the Mask podcast.
Oh,
Spikes,
I got it.
Spikes, I'm disappointed, man. I must admit.
You know what? I was disappointed in myself too. But then I didn't have to look far because this man stays on the golf course. Like,
he got the cheat code.
So
he got the cheat code. Listen, 15 yards away, they picking him up in a golf cart. So I would hope so. He's that much better than me right now. We got a major on November the 21st. We'll talk about it here on Behind the
We might
Mask
have
podcast.
to send we know I need to send the cameras down there to witness
We don't
that.
send the cameras because I'm
Follow
going
us
to tear your
around.
ass up. You hear me? Tired of this.
That's really going behind the mask. Man, I know you, and it hurt him so bad because he was looking forward to this. He had been working on this game.
He took another L, man.
Man, he took another L, man. You probably lost like 4 or 5 straight to me, man.
3.
3?
Yes. And I'm still up in the overall count. Because I counted them 120s and 130s too.
What's your record against me?
6-3.
He sound like he made that shit up.
Oh man, this is some good stuff, man.
Now, we listen. I wanted to ask you about this. We talk about everything, and you look at the governor of California, Gavin Newsom. He passed the bill, the Fair Play Act, to where now kids in college athletics have the right to earn endorsement money off the field. Things that I personally believe that's rightfully so. Wanted to get your take on it. I know he did it alongside of LeBron James, but wanted to get your take on, do you think it's going to water down college football? Or do you think that it will help enhance and really give these kids an opportunity to understand the business side versus being used for 3 years and then if they lucky enough to have an opportunity to make it a business?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to water down college football at all. I mean, it's only so many guys that will actually be able to take advantage of making more money from an endorsement standpoint or making money off their image and likeness and stuff like that. The NCAA, they're hypocrites. They've been making money off these kids' likeness and image for decades. Yeah. So now that they, state of California, I think you said New York passed it too.
New York is it? Yeah.
Or they're in the process of looking at it. So now allowing them to capitalize on their image, their likeness, whatever, that just makes sense. But I don't think it's going to affect college football in a negative way. It's what I did find interesting is there are still some restrictions in the bill. So say you're a Nike school or an Adidas school, and you have a player who is looking to sign a shoe contract with somebody else, he couldn't go out and sign a deal with Under Armour if he goes to a Nike school.
Yeah.
He couldn't. He would have to sign a deal with Nike. So he doesn't have leverage in that negotiation because they're like, you can't sign a deal with anybody else. So I think maybe it might change or affect somebody's decision before they pick a school. Like, hey, I'm gonna negotiate my shoe deal before I go to this school. You know, hey, now maybe that may start to influence where a guy. Shoe companies may be able to influence where a guy goes. Yeah, where a guy goes. But still, heck, they've been doing that anyway.
Right. They have, and I think the weird part about it is, like you said, they've been doing. This has been happening for years. Yeah. I mean, and not to any of us up here at all, but not at all. But it's been happening for years to where guys get paid either money under the table, get a box of shoes or something like that, and then because you have that relationship in high school, and when that said person comes back to you, say, hey, why don't you take a look at this school or take a look at this person or whatever. Even in college, when they're like, yo, why don't you take a look at this person representing you? Do you not think that waters down or kind of it makes it less authentic, makes the game less authentic, because now guys are just going, it's all for self now. It's not for the team. It's not for the university or whatever.
I still don't, I don't think it's going to be like that, especially like if you think about football. You're going to have to be investing in this school for 3 years. 3 years, whatever, yeah. So you can't be in a school and not be fully ingrained. You're going to be in a culture. You're going to be around your teammates. You're going to eventually... Think about this. We all had our individual contracts, and we're, on the pro level, we're all playing for our own individual contracts. But once that part is done, we're playing for each other. You're not going to go out in the field and give half effort, right, knowing that you got your teammates counting on you. That's kind of the same thing as it goes to on the collegiate level.
But do they know that yet? As college, you talking about 17, 18, 19-year-olds, do they even know that?
They know it, yeah, because they've been doing this from whether it's playing in middle school, high school, AAU, whatever the case may be. They've always, it's been ingrained in them about the team and being there for the teammates. It's already been, they've been raised in that type of environment.
Are you more so saying, do they know that yet as far as understanding the big economic picture and understanding splits and divides and things of that nature?
Well, do they know the fact that it's more of a team culture? Because now, when we came out, and again, I hate dating ourselves. When we came out, we didn't turn around 3 behind the mask cups and then pick one and say, this is the school I'm going to. We didn't do that. But now it's all about the player. So do the players know that, you know what, yeah, that's cool leading up to it, but once you get to college, yeah, you have a scholarship, you might be getting some pocket change, but this is now damn near a job. Like, you're still an amateur athlete, but you're treating it as a job, because now apparently they're going to start getting paid, and then you got to win, and you got to hold yourself accountable as a young man or a young woman to your team and to your university.
Right. Yeah, but at the end of the day, first and foremost, there are only going to be, a handful of guys on each team that's going to get some endorsement deals. You're the second string linebacker or the third string quarterback or whatever. They're not getting these types of deals. The star quarterback, star running back, star receiver, linebacker, Patchwerk, those guys are going to get the endorsement deals. They're going to sell jerseys, be able to profit off of that. They'll understand, hey, the better I play, the more money I'm going to make. They understand that, man. It's not going to affect the game in a negative way.
Well, Fletch, that's all we got here behind the mask, man. We appreciate it. But before we go, I have one question for you.
What's that?
With the game providing you so much, and that it has allowed you to see so much, experience so much, what can you share with our listeners that the game have taught you throughout the years?
I think first and foremost, when you look at football, I look at it as the ultimate team sport, because on each play, you got 11 guys relying on each other. You think about life. That's how life is. You got to rely on other people. You can't do anything by yourself. So it's taught me to be, to rely on other people. But also when you look at the game of football, you're going to go through some adversities on the field. You're going to go through adversity in life. It builds character, toughness, all the types of things that those things translate to life. That game, man, you're going to have some wins, you're going to have some losses. How do you bounce back for those for them setbacks? Some disappointments that happen in your life. You get traded, you get cut, you get all these different things. Like, man, how do you respond to that stuff? And that's on the game side, but that's also in life. How do you respond to all those different circumstances? And then just the brotherhood, man.
Yeah.
That camaraderie. That we've been knowing each other for 16 years. Started off as teammates. He's one of my best friends now. That's just the game and just how it brings you together.
Right.
That's what I love about it.
And then through those 4 quarters of football, what has that taught you, and not even taught you, how does that relate to what you're doing now and in the 5th quarter, which is after football?
Yeah, so in the 5th quarter, Takeo, myself, some other guys that I played with in Buffalo, we formed a investment group called 5th Quarters Investments. And it was through our time together in Buffalo that now we're doing commercial real estate investments. We have a rooftop bar on the campus of Florida State, Recess, man. And, we were successful on the field together. We formed that bond on the field, and now we're in the 5th quarter of life, and we're doing things together, man. And it's great. All the different things that we've been able to accomplish. We vacation together. We do all these different things that's what life is all about.
And golf together.
Yeah, some of us better than others.
So you had to put that in. About to get him off the show. As much as I hate to say this, we appreciate you coming on and taking us behind the mask of London Fletcher, the Iron Man.
Appreciate it, man. I appreciate being on here.
My man.
Came on here, got a free T-shirt.
Nice, nice mug, nice behind the mask.
Oh yeah,
mug.
we like free stuff.
If it's free, give me 3. Nah, man, we appreciate it, man. And whenever you in town again, man, make sure you stop by, man. We would love to have you on.
No doubt.
Right
I'm gonna just
on,
pop up.
There
Just pop up, man. I might be in the back when y'all interviewing somebody else.
There it is. And we heard you're gonna get on the mic, yo.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go in the booth. Yeah.
And do what?
We just gonna go in the booth.
And rhyme on a what?
Don't have you rhyming on a whack beat.
No,
Yeah.
don't rhyme on a whack beat.
You from New York, man.
Absolutely.
Can you rap?
Listen.
Because
here we go. Put him on the spot.
Everybody from New York, they're supposed to be able to hoop and rap.
And rap, yeah.
You can't hoop. You can't hoop. So
What? I can't hoop. I could beat you
boy, please.
at 40 something.
You might.
We betting?
Nah, yeah. Man, $2. Man,
My back's still messed up, so I ain't even gonna.
Oh, see, you got to
let's
excuse.
go ahead and put him
got
on
to
ice.
excuse.
Yeah, yo, I'm
Let's
put it
put
out
him on
there.
ice, man.
Yeah, it is.
Too. You got it.
You know
I wanna
what?
hear you. Let's go to the booth.
While we go to the booth, maybe we'll get some behind the mask scenes of that. But man, like I said, appreciate you stopping by, man. And truly, I could tell whatever came up came out, and we appreciate that. The listeners appreciate that, man. Thanks for stopping by, Fletch, and we out.